Exam stress is a pressure cooker for children and their parents. No parent wants to see their child suffering, but the exams create such a stressful environment for children now that the signs and symptoms of stress are unavoidable. So much of your child's future depends on the exams, and the pressure that they're feeling is built on by themselves and their peers and their school and them thinking about their future. And it creates an impossibly difficult situation. And all you want to do is provide something for your child to help them go through the process. As a therapist, I frequently see children suffering from symptoms that are stress related. Exam stress creates anxiety, sleep problems. It creates issues with stomach pains, migraines, and a plethora of symptoms can show as a result of the stress. The thing that's the most obvious is the child becomes emotionally overwhelmed, and you'll see anger outbursts and frustration, low motivation, and then just that kind of devastating sense that they're going to fail or that's not going to go right, and all that fear that's built up. And so, as a therapist that deals with a lot of parents, I was being asked for advice and for help about what you could do to help your child go through this process with less suffering. And that is why I created the exam stress solution. The exam stress solution was created for exactly that reason. So many parents were asking me for advice about what they could do to help their child, that we put the program together based on uh, my years of practice and my years of experience of dealing with anxiety. Um, the program is very simple. It's designed around building up what I refer to as your reserve of calm. The biggest problem that children face coming up to exams is that they're losing their kind of calm state. They're not keeping it together, and it's very difficult to keep it together given the amount of stress that they're under. And what the exam stress solution is it provides them with tools and skills that they can practice in the build up to the exams that will help them to stay calm and to increase the depth of their calm, so that they can stay grounded and stay on top of things. And it'll help them in another way. It will also help them for crisis management, where if they get a mind blank in the exam, we'll be giving them a lot of tools and skills to show you how to come back out of that state. But the biggest thing that it gives them is peace of mind, and it gives parents peace of mind, because that's the thing that parents wanted. As soon as parents came away with a tip, I found that they would immediately go and apply it. And some of the things that I was telling them to do, like breathing techniques and meditative techniques, are second nature to me because I've been doing them for such a long time. But they were amazed at the results that they were getting with these techniques. And so I suppose things that I just took for granted that people knew about, well, they don't know about. And so that's what we've built the program on. So what's involved? Well, very simply, some of the tools that you'll be learning are breathing techniques. And breathing techniques are extremely important because what they do is they help your child to calm down. Um, One of the things that happens to you under pressure is that you start to breathe from your chest instead of your belly. And as soon as you do that, you start to change your physiology. You don't get as much blood flow into the brain where you have where you store all of this information. And the stress levels that build up can often send you into a fight or flight state. And if you go into fight or flight, what happens to you is that your brain starts to operate from a different part. So fight or flight can kick in, which is operated as sort of a survival part of your brain down here at the back, as opposed to the part of your brain that you want to use in exams is up here at the front. And the survival mechanisms are sort of a higher level of priority in the brain. So they'll if they kick in, if they get over excited, then you won't be able to get at the information that you've stored in there for the last 6 months to a year. And like that's a disastrous situation for students. And that's one of the things that people fear, that they won't remember the information. So a really important thing by building up your reserve of calm is that you increase the reliability of accessing that part of your brain. And if you do get a mind blank, you can use these techniques to come back out of the stress state so that you'll be able to get back at this part of your brain again. So there's lots of different breathing techniques I'll be showing you. Some will suit some people and some will suit others more, but they're all designed to do the same thing, basically bring you back to a state of calm. Something that's very important that I teach people to do as well, in the build up to the exams especially, is to meditate in specific ways which help you for performance. And what you're doing is you're training your mind and your emotions to remain calm under pressure. And it's a very, very important skill to develop because, again, for the same reasons, it stops you going into a panic state where you lose your information. So the meditative practices really add depth to that state of calm. And you can do forward projections as well so that your mind is getting ready to be calm in the exam long before the exam. And the more you practice that, the more you will stay on top, focused and calm in the exam itself. So meditation is a very important part of it. Another very important aspect are acupressure points, which stimulate the brain to get them to work, to get your brain to work better, and acupressure points to get you to calm down. And a system of acupressure points plus breathing plus exercises in the build-up to the exam, which are deliberately designed to sharpen your focus and to get you to be able to concentrate for longer. And again, all of this is about stress reduction and building up the levels of calm reserve in the body, which help you to last out the duration of the exams. I would see exams like you've got to look at exams like a tennis tournament where you're going to have a competition every day or every second day for maybe 2 weeks. And exams are very similar in terms of their physical toll. It's absolutely exhausting on the body. And so what you're doing with what you need to do is you need to train your mind and emotions and body for those exams in the same way you would a tennis tournament. So you've got to be fit. And so we'll be giving you very simple tips about exercising in the correct ways to get you to perform better, and also the do's and don'ts of foods so that your brain is going to function at its best in the exams and in the learning process. And again, I'd stress that it's not just about the exams, it's about what you're doing in the build-up. And similarly, and lastly, I should say, what we'll also be giving you is how to structure your week so that you're planning for your study well. You're studying smart. And you're also going to be able to account for the study that you're actually doing. It's basic calendar planning, but you've got to be able to account for, when you do this properly, say if it's like 2 or 3 months before your exams, you're looking at your exams and you're planning back from the point of the exams back to the present. And when you start to do that and you break that down, what that gives you is massive peace of mind, because you know how many hours of study you need to do for each exam. You're going to be accounting for it on a daily and weekly basis, and you're going to know as you go through each day that you are in fact learning adequate volumes of information. And on top of that, you're also going to be able to account for the fact that you are in fact keeping your exercise up, you're eating well, you're doing your meditation, you're doing your smart exercises, all of which builds up the confidence you're going to be developing in yourself prior to the exam. It stops you going into crisis we'll say the week before the exam and the exam itself. So if you're a concerned student or a concerned parent and you're seeing your child cracking under the pressure, this program has been designed to help you. It will allow you to keep your focus, it will allow you to stay calm, and it will allow you to offset that pressure that everyone is feeling coming up to the exam. Sign up for the 6-week program now and empower your child to get the most out of themselves in their exams. I look forward to seeing you on the program.